What's up, everyone? It's King Nothing 21 here with Wayne's Games. Today we're going to talk about Series 3 coming up on Friday. We're not really going to talk about Team of the Week today. There's no need to really talk about Team of the Week. Everyone's talking about it, kind of beating it like a dead horse. We know Seattle's getting a lot more updates like they've been getting. What's new? Anyways, these are the things that you should know going into Series 3. Series 2 trophies are going to be halved when converting. And we're going to talk about why here in a little bit, or why I think they're going to be converting. Most feared is going to be ending this Friday when Series 3 comes. The most important thing about that is that treats are going to convert to training. I don't think it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. You're going to have to check EA's website for that one. But the one thing I want to get to real quick that's kind of important and something that I don't think I've seen too many people talk about is power-ups. And what I recommend is to stop investing in them. It seems like a lot of people try to invest in them or get caught up in them. It's really late in the year at this point. We're seeing it with a lot of cards. Saquon Barkley is another prominent one last week where the price shot up for his power-up almost immediately when he was announced. And then within minutes, he's down to not only a reasonable price, but then most weeks on the cards that aren't as recognized, let's just say, those cards are actually coming down to an even cheaper price than what they were before the card was announced. Or their new card was announced, rather. So what we're seeing is a trend of a ton of people buying or investing in the power-ups early on or too late and expecting to make some form of profit. And where that may be true, or where that may have been true at one point, or if you're somebody that was doing the get a player profit earlier on in the year and you have a ton of power-ups, good for you, but ultimately there's just not a lot of money to be made there in my opinion anymore, especially somebody that's fresh to the game. So if you're somebody fresh coming in, that's not really something to waste your money on. Personally, the suggestion that I can give you is that there's not going to be too many power-up passes, and as the year goes on, more and more people are going to want these 90, 91, 92, 93 overall players that they're going to need when their new players come out. So, for instance, when Bo Jackson gets an upgrade, his player is going to go up in price simply because there's less of them on the market. Whereas his power-up, you can go play the solo and get it. And in a lot of cases with the master programs like Most Feared and such, they're giving you the power up back. So there's just not a ton of reason to go and mess with power ups. I just recommend investing in cards and using your power ups as wisely as possible and saving as many of your power ups as possible. So buying cards at the right time and just monitoring cards throughout the week. And that is always my biggest recommendation. So those are kind of the things you should know or should be keeping your eye on. But let's talk about what to expect coming up this week. So we talked about how the Series 2 trophies are going to get halved, which is expected. Great. Why? Why? Because we're going to get a Series 3 Master. At least I think we are. Now, who could that be? Who knows? I think it could be a defensive player. I think it's likely an injured defensive player like Von Miller. I think that he makes a lot of sense. Somebody like Nick Bosa makes a lot of sense to me because not only has EA loved giving 49ers whatever the hell they want, which is what they've been doing all year, Nick Bosa would just be a very sought after card when it comes to getting a master. So I think that we could see a Nick Bosa, a Von Miller. Another crazy one that maybe I want to throw out there is something like Derwin James, just because it's a secondary. And I know that may seem crazy because of Derwin James versus the world for those of you who follow Twitch and are watching that on Tuesday nights to get your drops and to follow that program. This could be another in-between card. And although we did get his Rising Star, I guess not too long ago, it's kind of been a little while now, I could just see something like that happening and using that training bypass perhaps at some point. I don't know. Probably not. I'll stick to my Nick Bosa or Von Miller, but we've seen EA do some really crazy things. So we're going to get 93 overall players starting this weekend, very likely. I would imagine starting with MUT 50. So don't expect those cards to be very cheap, but usually when we get higher overall cards coming out, that means that not only lower overall cards tend to come down in price a little bit, but mostly training comes down in price. Because, obviously people are seeking those higher overall cards. The reason why I think we're going to see those cards in MUT 50 is because we're getting the first team MUT 50 this weekend starting off. Now, last time we got MUT 50, the first week of it, we got several players. And they were actually several good players. Expect something potentially similar this week, where we could see not just 3 players, but we could see multiple players entering the game, so that they're giving us not only MUT 50, but then we're going to talk about them potentially giving us Team Affinity as well. I just don't want to jump into too many things. So this would be another boost, quote unquote, of content. It's not really programs. I don't want to give them credit for that. This is just your weekly boosts, and this just happened to be when some of these programs kind of reset. So that's why we're getting that boost now, which is kind of huge. So we're going to get MUT 50, and I think some prominent names to kind of look out for potentially are going to be like Sean Taylor 21. He's huge. He's the boss. Randy Moss. I know people have been wanting Randy Moss. We need Randy Moss. Come on, people. Terrell Owens, Eric Dickerson. Boy, do we need him in this game, it feels like. He would just bulldoze over everyone. He is a monster. Brian Urlacher for a good middle linebacker. Lawrence Taylor. See, some of these cards that I'm going to name, we've gotten legends for early on already, and I think that's because we're going to go ahead and see upgrades for them coming out in MUT 50, and we've already seen a teaser with Barry Sanders coming out in MUT 50, it looks like, so that could be a potential to open up his power-up and his upgrade. I wouldn't imagine seeing him until next series, though, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But either way, Lawrence Taylor, Dion Sanders, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson. We've already seen Bo early, so potentially, seeing Bo later on. You never know. And like I said, I think we're going to see those from 93, and they're probably going to go into 94 overalls through the early holidays. So not only are we going to get some MUT 50 boost, whether it's 6, 7, 8 players, whether it's just 3 players, we're going to also probably see a Team Affinity upgrade. Now, something I want to talk about with the Team Affinity upgrade is increasing the overall of existing diamonds. So this is something that I don't feel like I see talked about too much. And just you could expect them to do something wacky like this just with a training upgrade, to just go ahead and boost them to maybe 91 or 92 to give them that extra oomph to keep them usable still. They could do some sort of a better upgrade for them, but the reason why I say that they could do something like that is because we're possibly going to see maybe like a rotation of programs here. So like what we were seeing is like you would see diamonds, and then you would see standouts. So we saw diamonds first, and then we saw standouts second. So are we going to see diamonds again? Are we going to see new diamonds? Are we going to see increased overalls to the diamonds that we have? Are we going to see increased overalls to the diamonds we have plus new diamonds? Woo! One can wish, right? But that's probably not going to happen. So they're likely going to do one or the other. I imagine they're going to do the latter, and that's honestly, get us 32 new diamonds, as crazy as that may seem. Hopefully, everyone gets what their team wants, or what they want for their team, rather. So because of that, we're probably going to see some new solos. And obviously, we're going to go from level 60 to level 70. So in going from level 60 to level 70, expect a level 61 store offer. Expect a level 66 store offer. This store offer is probably going to be for a quick sale of 160,000 coins, I'd imagine, something like that. So I'd expect a pretty good chunk of chains if you're a low money spent guy like me who likes to just get his level up packs and like a weekly pack, things like that, just not trying to give them too much of my money, but still trying to stay a little relevant. I know there's a lot of you out there. Don't feel ashamed. It's cool. It's your money. Do what you want with it. So just something to look out for with that. But the big thing is expect the store offer at 70. So we heard Kralo tell us earlier in this series on Good Morning Madden one morning that they were going to give us some sort of store offer potentially later on in this series at level 60. We have yet to see that. Usually that pack is between $10 and $20. I expected earlier in this series for them to give us maybe a MUT 50 for 15 or 20 bucks, like a full MUT 50 guy. Never happened. Really weird. Really weird because they could it's like free money for them. So as much as they take advantage of us with these $1.50 packs here and there, I feel like giving us a big card like that for $10 would just be huge. Yes, it would hurt the market, but it would be huge, for them. So I expect them to do one at 70. We saw this, I believe, last year where I believe every other series update they did a store offer. I expect this one to be perhaps a series redux because that's what we saw last year. So hopefully we get a good store offer, a fair store offer, nothing crazy. It'd be nice if it was $5, but one can wish, right? So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Not too much. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up to some things to expect going on. And as far as the equipment and stuff, we're still working on it. Hopefully we're going to get the webcam set up soon, a little bit better microphone so that we can give you guys some quality content, as well as some good knowledge of programs coming up and things that we've seen in the past and hopefully coming in the future. Thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and take care.